Hello dear viewers, a very warm welcome to our channel. It's very good to have you here. In this video we are going to have a look at turbocharger oil leaks. You know, the turbocharger is an auxiliary air pump that is driven by the exhaust. Right here we have the turbine side, which is going to be driven by the exhaust. Exhaust will be acting on these turbine blades. As the turbine blades are pushed by the exhaust, it will start rotating, and when this is rotating, it will drive this turbocharger shaft, and that will drive the compressor. Compressor will be sucking air from the air filter and then pumping it into the intake manifold. So this is basically the principle of operation. Now, because it is being driven by exhaust gas, there is massive temperature increase on the turbine side due to extremely hot exhaust gas. This will be acted up from exhaust gas that is directly exiting the exhaust manifold. So there is increased temperature. In order to prolong the service life of a turbocharger, there is a massive oil coming from this side. It will be coming from the oil gallery, and then these bronze looking bearings, they need to get lubricated with plenty of oil. So oil will come this way, it will split to the different bearings, and once it is lubricating, it will get down into the crankcase. Now the oil not only lubricates but also cools the turbocharger, otherwise the bearings will overheat and fail immediately. That is why abundant oil flow is very crucial for a perfect turbocharger operation. So oil in massive quantity will be supplied to the turbocharger. Once it passes lubricating and cooling all this, it will then seep back to the oil pan through this passage. Now, what are some of the common symptoms indicated on turbochargers related to oil? For example, if oil comes to the compressor side, this is the compressor side. If there is excessive oil coming to the compressor side, that will make oil to be burned inside the cylinder. If oil crosses into the compressor side, that oil will be supplied to the intake manifold, it will be supplied to the engine, and it will get burned in the combustion chamber, leading to blue smoke. Very crucial problem. So what will be causing oil to leak to the compressor side? One causes seal failure. If there is a failed seal, that is one problem. But majority of the time, oil will be supplied to the compressor side if there is excess vacuum sucking oil. If there is excessive vacuum in this side, that will suck oil from this passage, from this gallery, and then suck it and mix it to the incoming air. When do we have increased vacuum in the compressor side? If there is a blocked air filter. If the air cleaner is blocked, that is the number one cause for oil mixing with incoming air. This is very much dangerous. If excessive oil is being supplied to the intake manifold, and if excessive oil is being supplied to the cylinders, that can cause runaway diesel. Runaway diesel is where oil get burned even though you have turned off fuel. Oil that is being pumped from the turbine, oil that is being sucked by the vacuum in here will get burned inside the cylinder. Oil will be burned as fuel, and there is no way you can shut it down. So the diesel engine will accelerate, will run with this engine oil burning. That is very damaging and very catastrophic. So if you find traces of oil in the intake manifold, if you find traces of oil coming into the cylinder, make sure that the air filter is not blocked, and make sure that the turbocharger seals are not in bad shape. Otherwise, that can lead to runaway diesel, very destructive. So if you find excessive oil coming to the compressor side, that has to do with excessive vacuum. When engine is sucking air from here, engine is sucking air from this side. If the air is restricted, it will suck everything. It will start sucking in liquid oil, and that will be supplied to the engine cylinder. So one basic cause for oil leaking to the compressor side, oil available in the intake manifold, all that has to do with increased intake vacuum. Increased intake vacuum as a result of blocked air filter. So seal damage and blocked air filter are number one causes. The other thing, if oil is leaking to the turbine side and to the compressor side at the same time. What could be the cause? One, it could be caused by blocked return passage. Oil that is pushed from the oil pump will be supplied right here. Pressurized oil is coming. That oil, it has to return freely to the oil pump. If the return passage is somehow restricted, that can cause the oil to leak to both directions. So, if you find oil in the turbine side and also you find oil in the compressor side at the same time, that could be caused by blocked return line. That is one cause. The other cause is increased crankcase pressure. If there is increased crankcase pressure, that will also make increased pressure in this cavity. That will make oil to leak to both directions. That is very, very dangerous as well. And the other thing, if the oil filter is not replaced on time, dirty oil will be supplied. If dirty oil is supplied, you see these tiny oil passages, tiny holes, those are used for trapping oil. If they are filled with dirt, the bearings will have low lubrication and that will cause damage to the turbocharger bearings as well. So, if oil filter is not replaced on time, if oil is not replaced on time, if dirty oil is supplied to the turbocharger, that will definitely damage the bearings in the long run. These bearings, they need to be fed with clean oil. If dirty oil is applied here, the dirt will bring abrasive materials like metal, fine powder metals from wearing bearings, from wearing engine parts. All those fine particles, when they get supplied, they will act like a sandpaper running down the turbocharger bearings. As you can see, the turbocharger bearings are made up of very shiny surface. There are tiny holes drilled in here to capture oil and allow oil access and lubrication. But if dirt is there, that will get blocked and that will cause excessive wear on the bearings. So preventive maintenance is very crucial for prolonged turbocharger life. So make sure that oil filter is replaced on time. The other problems that can damage your turbocharger related to oil is when you shut down hot engine without cooling down. Now, as we have said earlier, turbocharger is operating at extremely large temperature. Now, if you immediately shut down a diesel engine after a long drive or after hauling heavy load, what will happen? The turbocharger will remain extremely hot. That will cook oil in this gallery. Oil that was previously supplied but not drained, that will get cooked and that will start to develop carbon buildup and sludge. We call it oil cooking in the turbocharger. This will be extremely hot and that will cause cooking of oil. That cooking oil will make very hard oil that gets baked by the extreme temperature inside the turbocharger. That will block this oil passage. If oil is baked in here, it will block oil passage, so the bearings will be blocked from receiving fresh oil when engine is started again. So that is another thing that can shorten the service life of your turbocharger. So if you are driving a turbocharger engine, don't shut it immediately as you park. Let it idle for a little so that the turbocharger temperature will come down, and excessive lubrication have to be there in order to cool down the turbocharger. Otherwise, if it is extremely hot, that will cook oil in here and that will block these tiny passages and tiny orifices for lubrication. If that is blocked, if oil passage is blocked, the turbocharger life will be shortened. So that is one thing that you need to consider. So these are some of the oil leakage problems, and the others are external leakage. If there is a problem with the connection, external leakages are observed, but internal leakages are basically caused by either a seal failure on either side or increased vacuum as a result of blocked air filter, or crankcase pressure buildup, or blocked return line. So these are some of the oil related problems that you face if you are driving a turbocharged engine. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you regarding some of the very damaging and deadly oil leakage associated with a turbocharged engine. If you find this video helpful and if you enjoy what has been presented, please smash the like button. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing, turn on notifications so that you will be the first to get notified whenever we come up with another video. Until then, stay safe.